Greeting and welcome to the Intensive Success Growth. I'm your host, Nishant Sharma. Please give warm welcome to our guest, Peter George. Peter George is a public speaking coach. Welcome, Peter.
Hi, Nishant. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Well, actually, I grew up with a lisp and a stutter. So the last thing I ever wanted to do was communicate with people, especially speaking in public. But as I got older and went into the corporate world, I realized I had to speak in front of people. So I went and got help, first in group coaching for public speaking, and then one-on-one coaching. And through a series of non-planned events, I ended up on stage or speaking. That was 35 years ago, and I've been speaking ever since.
Okay, great. What are the top 3 reasons why do people fail?
Why do people fail? Probably lack of preparation is probably number 1, 2, and 3. A lot of people don't prepare. And as the old saying goes, if you don't, you're just preparing to fail if you don't prepare to do what you need to do. So preparation is key. I know in my business it is. When people say, what's the number 1 thing? It's preparation.
Okay. What's your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
I don't know if it was my greatest failure, but I teach my clients never to tell a joke. Never is a strong word, but very seldom should you tell a joke because most of us aren't very good at it. Our timing isn't good enough to tell jokes and the like. And my opening was planned for a talk. It was in front of 750 middle managers of a major corporation. And at the last moment, walking out on stage, I decided to tell a joke. And I told it very well. My timing for jokes isn't that bad. However, it wasn't a good joke. Well, it was a good joke to me, but it wasn't the right place to tell this particular joke. So it didn't go over well. So the lesson to myself is to do what I tell my clients, and that is have your opening prepared, stick with your opening, deliver it well, and you'll engage your audience. I did everything but that.
Okay, great. So what's your success secrets that other can model from you?
My success secret is really to have empathy of where my clients are, what they're going through, and what they're trying to accomplish. And when you're speaking, one of the things to keep in mind, and I think this is just as a human being and a business person as well, is it's all about the audience. It's all about the other person. We get up as speakers and we think it's about us because we're the ones on stage or at the front of the room or have the light on us or whatever. It's really about the audience because without them and without transforming them in some way, there was no reason to be speaking.
Okay.
So make it about the audience.
Okay. What motivates you within?
What motivates me? I like to help others. I enjoy helping others. And the more I can help them in public speaking, whether that's for, and it's usually for business in one way or another, whether they're professional speakers or executives who have to present in their business. If I can help them with their business side of life, who knows what that can do for their personal side of life. They might end up with the vacation home or send their kids to the colleges that they want to, or whatever it might be that they want to accomplish that being successful in business provides for them. And if I can help them with that, that's a pretty cool thing in life. It's a good reason to get up every day.
What's your company motto?
Be calm, confident, and credible.
Okay. So who is your ideal client?
My ideal client is an aspiring or established speaker who wants to take it to another level, who wants to be extremely good at what they do. Not just proficient, but extremely good at what they do. They want to be in that top 3% or 1% of speakers.
Okay. How do you find your ideal client?
Most of my clients come by referral. They're referred by other people, my current clients or just past clients. So a lot come by referral. I get some from my website. My website actually does very well for me. I have clients all around the world, and a lot of those people from other parts of the world come through my website, but mostly through referrals.
How do you engage your ideal client?
How do I engage them? Well, depending on the definition of engage, do you mean how do I work with them in person or through Zoom, that type thing? Or how do I actually work with them?
Yeah, yeah, as like work on Zoom or offline.
Yeah, I work with them if they're local, and local to me is the Northeastern United States. I generally travel to them. Otherwise, we're on Zoom, although I do have a client out in the Midwest who flies me back and forth.
Okay. Why someone should buy from you?
Well, there are a lot of great public speaking coaches around the world. And what makes me maybe a little different is I have a system. It's called the AMPT, AMP apostrophe D, AMPT. And that stands for audience, message, presentation, and delivery. And by using that framework, my clients very quickly grab on to what it is we're trying to accomplish because they're working in a system as opposed to here's what you should be doing on stage or here's what you might want to say. It's all systematic. So they can follow that in any situation, whether they're speaking in a conference room with 10 people or an auditorium with 3,000 people.
Okay. So how do you crush your competition?
How do I crush my competition? I don't. I enjoy my competition. I don't believe I have competition. Not that I'm better than them. It's that I like to work with my competition. And if someone's better suited for them as a coach, then I'll send the prospect to that person as opposed to me. I'm not best for all prospects out there. And so when I have those that I'm not good for, or they're not a good fit for me, either way, I refer them elsewhere. So I don't want to crush my competition. I want to see my competition do well.
Okay. How do you handle rejections?
I handle rejections pretty easily. I grew up playing sports and losing is just part of the game. So, and it just like an athlete does, you figure out why you lost, you shake it off and you move on to the next game. Same thing. Rejection's not a bad thing as far as I'm concerned. It's just part of the game.
Okay. How do you handle angry client?
I don't have angry clients, thankfully. Knock on wood. I don't have angry clients. My clients and I get along pretty well. We vet each other quite well before we start working together. I don't take everybody who comes to me because we might not be a good fit. If I don't think they're truly coachable, then I'm not going to set either one of us up for failure. And I don't want to take their money. That's not fair to them. And I've never had a client get angry with me. So I'm pretty lucky that way, I guess, or we just do a job of vetting each other out.
How do you deliver 5-star client experience?
Much like I said about a speaker, making it all about the audience, I try to make it all about my clients. I'm old school. I have clients from all around the world. So if I have to get up at 3:30 in the morning to meet with a client on Zoom, I do. If they're local here in the Northeastern US and they say, I want to meet at 9:30 at night in person, we do. The client's always right as far as I'm concerned. So they're paying me good money and I'm trying to make their life easier.
What are you grateful for today?
Things I'm most grateful for. One is my wife, who's my best friend of 31 years. And she's my biggest supporter. She's a business person. She's an awesome business person, owns her own company. And she helps me a great deal in my business. And like I said, she's my best friend. And other than that, I'm grateful for my clients. I enjoy my clients. I love working with my clients. So it's nice that of all the traveling I've done speaking and working with public speaking clients, The people you get to know is always the coolest thing.
Okay. How do you start your day?
How do I start my day? I I go get an iced tea every single day at a coffee shop. I walk to the coffee shop, which is a half a mile away, and I walk back. So I get it. The first thing I do in the morning is get the iced tea and a mile walk in.
How young are you?
64. Well, I'll be 64 in July.
You are not 64-year young. You are 18-year young with 46-year experience.
I like that. I like. Thank you. I like that.
So, what's your plan to achieve your goal?
My plan to achieve my goal is to just continue what I'm doing and being consistent. I think being consistent is key in just about anything. I'd rather be wrong than inconsistent. So as long as I can be consistent, I've had a pretty good plan throughout the years and I made adjustments as I needed to. But when you apply things consistently, if you're wrong, you find out why. It's not a guessing game. And if you're right, you can continue to do it.
In case you don't achieve your goal, how do you feel?
If I don't achieve my goal, I figure out why. And I have a goal. So I can't think of the word I'm looking for. That's being 64 years old. You suddenly can't think of words. An accountability partner. And as a matter of fact, I'll be meeting with him tomorrow morning, and we meet once a month. And so I work on my goals with him, and I answer to him. And if I'm off center and not achieving things, then we make adjustments and move on.
How do you overcome challenge life throws at you?
I'm pretty go with the flow type of person. When life has a challenge, unless it's health, where something drastic could happen, unless it's that, then that's just life. You know, not everything's going to be roses. Every once in a while, there's going to be a skunk instead of the sweet smell of roses, but that's just life. So I think when you expect all great things, you get disappointed. When you know some things aren't going to work well or come up that aren't, they're just not the good time or the right thing. That's just life. That happens. Deal with it and move on.
Okay. So, what advice you will give younger yourself?
I'm just finishing a book. It'll be going to press within a month. And it would have been to write the book earlier.
Great.
I'm too old to be writing the book that I did. And it's all about public speaking, but it's very involved. Not so much for the reader, but to lay it out so it's easier for the reader. It was very involved. It took me almost 2 years. I wish I'd done that 10 years ago, if not more.
Okay. What do you want to remember for?
Being a good friend to people, being remembered as a good friend, willing to help others, no matter what time of day or night, if they're in need, to help them. I don't know if there's anything better in this world you could be remembered for.
Why being impactful is more important to you?
Why is being impactful important to me?
Yes.
Well, to make an impact on someone's life, that's an honor. And I know I do that with my clients, and I transform them in a way, and which transforms their life and impacts them. And that's an honor. That's, you don't get, not everybody gets to do that. That's nice. I appreciate that. I've had that opportunity in life.
How can we support you?
How can you support me?
Yes.
Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
This podcast is a great way to support me. When you publicize it, that would be great. Let me know when it's available. I'll publicize it. And that's a good amount of support. Getting people who might not know me to know me, you never know what's going to come of that.
Okay. So, what would you like to say about your guest experience on this show?
This has been a lot of fun. You made it very easy. It's been a lot of fun being on the show, talking to you, talking with your listeners, having them listen in. It's been enjoyable.
What's your final word?
I didn't get that one.
What's your final word?
Oh, my final word. To people who are thinking about speaking in public or a little nervous about speaking in public, people say, what's your one suggestion to people who are new to it or nervous? And it's just breathe. You're breathing anyway, so just do it right. Take deep breaths. If you practice yoga, you know it is cleansing breaths. If you've had children, you know it is cleansing breaths. Speakers and singers know it as diaphragmatic breathing. It's just breathing deeply, not holding it, letting it back out, doing that 3 or 4 times, letting your body and your mind relax while giving it oxygen, and that'll help you a great deal.
Thanks, Peter, for sharing your wisdom with us. On the behalf of our community and team, we really appreciate you. Until the next time, all good wishes to you.
It's been a pleasure to be here, Nishant. Thank you.